Should we do some jet battling? The airplanes have been crashing.
Yep.
It's been very devastating, very sad. Fortunately, no one was killed on the last plane crash, but it did flip over entirely, and the wings broke off, which is not good. Seems like pilot error. They came in too fast.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about? You don't need to name the individual, but a pilot that we know was kind of breaking down.
Yeah, I'll just read the texts. This is hilarious. So we're talking about the crash, and my buddy who flies planes says he thinks it's going to be very stupid for the next 5 years. Have you seen the video? Have you seen the clear video of the crash? The guy just landed way too hard. Literally nothing wrong with the plane. The weather looks totally fine. Just way too high of a descent rate, which is crazy since you have way higher air pressure when it's cold, clear day. And Toronto is basically at sea level. Like, bro, these are basically the ideal conditions to land a jet other than the snow on the ground. But that seems like that wasn't a factor. Yeah, because as soon as they come in, before they even touch the snow, the wheels just break off the plane. And so clearly they came in way too hard. And he closes by saying, like, if you told me what you need to land a jet, what would your favorite conditions be to choose? I'd basically choose these exact weather conditions: cold, clear day at sea level. And so, what a mess. Very, very silly. And,
but anyway, so this story kind of ties into the last one in some ways, because Europe had been subsidizing Airbus, and so this is just this great battle of commercial, airplane manufacturers that's playing out.
And it seems like it's worked for them or something. Something's going right at Airbus, because the Airbus.
Well, is it just that so many things were going wrong at Boeing?
Yeah.
Because it's possible if they were just not even executing that well, but just like prioritizing safety, durability of the planes,
and that's it.
Pilot training,
maybe the safetiest European
rigorous
mindset,
hiring,
like, just works, I guess. Or maybe they're not getting brain drained. Like Airbus might be the hottest ticket in Europe, whereas in America, a lot of the great Boeing people probably went to work at SpaceX, et cetera. Anyway. The European company started delivering the new aircraft, the A321 XLR, late last year, against a backdrop of manufacturing upheaval and financial strain at its American rival. So far, the XLR has racked up more than 500 orders, many from airlines looking to replace older Boeing planes. And can you pull up on public, like, just give me the size of the prize, like market cap for Boeing, what's happening with the stock over the last couple of years, market cap for Airbus? Just to give me some ideas.
I'm going to pull out, I'll send some screenshots to Ben.
Share? Okay. I'm going to keep reading, and then you kind of do some deep dive in. The jet's success is one of the starkest signs yet of the diverging fortunes of the two companies, with Boeing's troubles leading to gaps in its product lineup that are now being exploited by Airbus. It is also a warning of a bigger threat looming. While Boeing is strapped for cash, Airbus is increasingly investing in an entirely new generation of aircraft that could shape the duopoly for decades to come. Very interesting.
Yeah, so one thing right away with Boeing, sort of a narrative violation, but they're somehow up 11. They're up 11% in the past 12 months, which you just, based on all the headlines, you would not expect that. You just wouldn't expect that.
Yeah,
they've had like a very rocky. They got badly. They badly their stock suffered obviously with COVID and everything like that, and then it's basically
and then
just
the 737
never actually fully recovered. So they're still down
from peak.
They're down 27% over the last 5 years. So pretty meaningful dip. On the other hand, you have Airbus, which on the 5 year is up 30%. So they're almost inverted in that sense.
So American Airlines and United Airlines have chosen the Airbus's XLR to replace their Boeing 757 fleets.
And again, as a consumer, if I'm looking at two flights, I don't really have that much loyalty to airlines, to be honest. I just kind of like try to book the best flight. But I do kind of pay attention if there's two flights that are exactly, pretty much exactly the same.
Airbus.
I just go for the Airbus.
That's crazy.
And so it's totally possible that these airlines are saying, consumers don't want to be flying on Boeing. We need to adjust our fleet to fit their
It's
their
crazy
concern.
because, like, yeah, I mean, you go one level deeper in the stack, and like, no one cares that it's like, oh, this is a Rolls Royce engine, or like this is a TransDigm seat buckle, but most people don't know who makes what planes when they get on a Delta flight or an American Airlines flight. But it's something's going bad when people start caring about what the plane manufacturer is. But it has been a mess, and there's been a lot of negative press. Even though just on the safety statistics, like Boeing is still like very, very safe, but it's just the vibes feel off. The new model, the latest in its A320 family of aircraft, has another advantage. It doesn't have much competition. Boeing discontinued the 757 in 2004 and shelved plans to build a new aircraft that would have competed directly with the XLR in 2020. The U.S. company's main rival aircraft, the 737 MAX 10, is years behind schedule, awaiting sign-off from the FAA.
If all but a handful of people are let go from the FAA, it's possible that
never
they
gets
would
approved.
just give it. No, they'd give it a rubber stamp because they're like, hey, we really don't have time to deal with this.
It hasn't been all gloom for Boeing. The company in December announced a landmark order for up to 200 MAX 10 jets from Turkey's Pegasus, a carrier that predominantly operates Airbus jets. So they are flipping some people. American Airlines also doubled down on its commitment to MAX 10 with 85 new orders last March. And Airbus isn't without its own problems. Supply chain issues have limited the company's plans to turbocharge production and meet booming demand in the wake of the pandemic. This month, Airbus said it was delaying a long-touted hydrogen-powered jet. Oh, I had no idea they were even working on that. Anyway, in the 5 years since 2019, Airbus has spent some $12.9 billion on R&D. Boeing's plane making business has spent $8 billion. So
this is such an example
R&D.
of, like, going back this month, Airbus said it was delaying a long-touted hydrogen-powered jet. You didn't even know this was happening.
Yeah.
Clearly, the reason that, if you could go back and invest in Tesla years ago, the bull case would be like, this is a big company, very focused on innovation that's going to continue to try to reinvent itself. And these these aircraft manufacturers, commercial aircraft manufacturers, don't seem like, the reason they trade at like 2x revenue is because they have no real, like, they're not really showing, hey, we're committed to innovation. We want to build the next platform. Yeah. And anyways, it's just interesting to think about. At
a large late stage company, people's incentives aren't their lifetimes. They're like, I'm here for a couple years, or I'm here for a decade. I'm building my career, but I'm later in my career. Maybe I'm going to retire in 10 years. Maybe I'm going to retire in 20 years. Elon's thinking like, I'm going to run SpaceX in 1,000 years and I'm going to be the president and king of Mars. And so, whether or not it's true, he's certainly thinking long term. And that leads to a very different style of decision making than the guy who's just like, okay, to really get my retirement package or to get my bonus or to get my promotion, I got to put out a press release about some fake thing and get some McKinsey consultants to say it's real.
Hydrogen-powered jet.
And then,
we're delaying it, but
and then pump the
it.
stock a little bit and then pull back from it at the last second and say, it was actually never really a thing. It was just what's the term? It was just an art project. It was just performance art.
Performance art.
Yeah. What if they come out and say that in the next press release? Oh, that hydrogen jet, that was just a bit of performance art.
Yeah.
Just a side project.
This is why Boom Aero could end up being, their recap could end up being like the best investment ever, is because if they can pull it off, then these big, either Boeing or Airbus will have to come in and buy it, or they'll just sell directly to the airlines.
For everyone who's saying, oh, Blake's probably like the CEO of Boom is super diluted now, like, it's gonna be rough for him. If he really starts crushing and like delivering in a serious way, he can reincorporate in Texas and do the Elon thing and be like, I want 25% of this company, and you'll give it to me if I hit 100 billion market cap. And all the shareholders will be like, absolutely, because it makes perfect economic sense, just like it did with Tesla. And so, if you're a founder and you're diluted, you're kind of down but not out. Don't give up, because you can always get back in the game. This is a new thing. Wasn't the case for a long time.
Paul, you can imagine Paul Graham being a big part of that round, presumably, and the other investors. I'm sure they were thinking, we need to make sure that Blake is incentivized to triple down.
Totally.
when many people would have given up already.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but obviously the investors need like financial downside protection, and like they need to own what they own.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it just becomes about the share price, and it can be accretive to issue the CEO or the founder CEO a ton more equity.
Yeah.
In the sense that like, yes, you will be diluted as a shareholder, but if the price goes up and you make money, everyone's happy. Anyway. Airbus has been working on lightweight airframes, fuel efficient engines, and even folding wings. That sounds real. That definitely sounds like something that's going to happen.
Hey,
soon.
we're going to have folding Android phones, or we already have them. The natural evolution is
Don't
folding
worry.
wings.
The folding wings are definitely coming. It's right around the corner, 2030. Everyone says if you're ever in business and somebody asks you like, oh, when's that crazy thing going to happen? Just be like, we're a few thousand days away. They're basically saying the same thing. Yeah, 2030 for sure. It's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
If it slips to 2040, it's no big deal. No one's going to be mad at you. No one's going to remember what you said in 2025 in 2030.
Yeah.
It's 5 years later. It's a lifetime. Anyway, folding wings. That'll be maybe they should just flap them. Let's make birds. Giant albatross birds.
Make the wings flap.
Yeah,
Make the wings flap.
We spend more time arguing
like an
with
ornithopter, right?
Yeah, exactly.
From
Dune.
Dune.
That'd be great. Anyway, Boeing isn't in a financial position yet to launch a new aircraft, so they're kind of getting stuck, and Boeing could get in a situation where their old plane sucks and the new plane, they can't afford to launch it. And so lots of risk around Boeing, but the stock is up. It was oversold, and clearly people are optimistic that something will happen here. But let's figure it out.
It's not great when they're saying we've got to spend a little bit more time, more focus on getting ready, getting the business back to generating cash, so that we have the cash to support new airplane development. That's just not good. Like, how is the stock trading up on just that narrative?
Yeah.
Hey, we're not making money.
Yeah.
We're a $140 billion company. Nobody trusts our airplanes anymore.
Boeing CEO
They're
sits
falling
down
out of the sky.
It's just like
yeah, we definitely got to focus on getting ready.
Yeah, I think what's going on here is that profit is equal to revenue minus costs, and we need revenue to go up while costs go down, so we increase profit. And everyone's like,
yeah. So just to give everybody context, I have the full public page pulled up here on 66 billion in TTM revenue. They've lost about $9 billion. So
rough.
Not looking great.
Good luck to them. Hopefully they can go pick up some startups, do some acquisitions.
It would actually
let those founders run the company. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, at a certain point, you want any great American company, because Boeing in the fullness of time is a great American company.
Yeah.
That said, it clearly needs somebody like Elon.
Yeah.
I wish
everyone always says
and that's the bull case for Elon just having a bunch of children.
Yeah.
Is that if we need more Elons.
Now, I think we can get other people. I would say the wild card move, Boeing, how much cash do they have on their balance sheet? Like $1 billion? They should just go buy.
I hope they have more than that. They're losing almost $1 billion a month.
They're burning $1 billion a month. Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, people are like, oh, these AI people are raising too much money. Boeing's out there burning $1 billion a month. If Boeing's burning $1 billion a month, and you're only burning $50K a month.
Boeing has $26 billion on their balance sheet.
Take 5 of that. Go buy Boom. Blake Scholl. Get in the CEO seat. You're running Boeing now.
Make better planes.
You got to make better planes.
Make them flap. Make them flap.
No, don't make them flap. Make them real. Make them good. Stop with the flapping.
I want the ornithopter.
Ornithopter mode. Yeah. I like this plan. I think we can turn this around. This is why we should have an activist hedge fund. So we can come in, start putting pressure. Maybe we got to get Bill Ackman. Send Bill Ackman a post. Hey, we're taking Boeing private. We're buying Boom. We're putting Blake Scholl in the Boeing CEO seat. Crazier things have happened in the business world. You heard it here first, if it happens.